Give me one moment. She's just asleep. She keeps fighting it. I'll be right back. I just got here right now. Give me 1 second. She keeps like crying, and then she stops, and then she does it again. Let me go get her. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Lita. Yeah, she's so big. She's wearing 3 months already. She's really long. Like it won't fit her. Some things won't fit her like on the sides, but on her legs it'll fit her perfectly. I mean on her like by her feet, it's like the perfect size, but everywhere else it's like too big on her. Hi, Carmen. How's your family doing? We're doing great. Thanks for asking. Let me try to move this a little closer. Hi, Carmen. I stopped studying to watch you. Oh, Natalie. I don't think I'll be on for too long. It's already 8:51. Oh my god. It took longer to get on, but that's because I had to finish feeding her. And then she keeps falling asleep, and then she'll get up like a minute later. She's having a hard time right now. Hi, Maria. How was your first day back? My head hurts. It went well. I was just like bombarded with information, and I was so overstimulated. I was so used to like being home, calm with my baby all day, every day for like almost 3 months. And to go into a preschool environment and taking my kids to school and having her there, it was a lot. Not that it was bad, it was just like too much at once for me. It's three of us in the office. One of them told me that she's going to be leaving for a month to try things out in Tennessee. And if she likes it enough to stay, then she's going to make the move. Which um I think it's a good idea because this area is just getting way too expensive. Most people, unless you're like making three figures, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Rent is super high. Everything is just way too expensive in this area. Way too expensive for to have like a decent living. A ton of people I know are moving elsewhere. And I don't blame her for doing it. I told her like if I had the opportunity to do it, I would go somewhere else. She's going to Tennessee because she has family there. Oh, Ryan, where are you growling at? Shh. Hey, no. Hey, sometimes the neighbor's dog like makes noise. Hey, no, no, no. Shh. All Ryan, lay, lay. And when he barks, he scares her and she starts crying. Ah, ah, ah. No, I don't want Leia to cry. Oh, Ryan. No. Sit. Shh. If he barks, she's gonna cry. It scares her so much. Hey, what's the matter? No, no. So that was the first thing. Like 10 minutes into going in, she was like, "We gotta tell you something," and I was like, "What?" That was one thing. The other thing was that there's a ton of new kids, so I had to learn all of their names. I have to, when parents come in, I can't give away a child, of course, if I don't know who the parents are. My coworkers know who they are, but since I haven't been there in almost 3 months, I have no idea. So I have to ask all these parents for IDs and all of this stuff. What else? That was mostly it. Leia did great. She was in the office with me. I have a little pack and play there. Everyone was like trying to go see her, but we have like a big, it's really big, like a really big window in front of our desk where we see people come in through the front door. So everyone that came in saw me and they would be like, "Oh my god, you're back." And they would like peek over to see Leia, which was, she was behind me. Um it was nice seeing a ton of parents that I really get along with. It was nice. It was nice getting back. I have to do a meeting with like it's almost like I have like this group of parents, almost like PTO, but it's like 6 or 8 of them. And I do monthly um Zoom meetings with them. So we were talking about me setting that up, and I'm gonna do that presentation and that meeting tomorrow. Talk to them about stuff in the upcoming months, like field trips. So yeah, I'm back to it, and everyone was super helpful. My coworkers, like to close, they were so helpful. They wanted to like help me with Leia. I basically sat in the office with Leia while they did like most of the work that I would do, because at that time she wanted to eat. She was fussy. So they were very helpful and understanding, which was great. You look great, Carmen. Thank you. She's getting so big. Beautiful. Thank you. Carmen, last I saw you, you were getting divorced. Are you in a relationship now? Yes, I am. I wasn't married and I didn't get a divorce. I was splitting up from with someone. More work for you. Yeah. Like as soon as she told me that she's leaving, I was like, great. No, it's a ton of work. And then my other coworker, she's gonna go on vacation the first week of March. So tomorrow I have to talk to her. Like I didn't get the time to do it today because there was just so much going on. But tomorrow I have to talk to her and ask her who's gonna be in the office with me. It's a lot. Mm. Would you ever want to move? Yeah, I do. I do want to. I want to go to Florida with my sister. And like I've said, he has family down there too. But a ton of people, like you guys tell me not to move down south. But I like the quiet. I mean, a lot of people tell me like you get over it, and if you're used to the city, it's different. I'm used to like living right across the street, New York. Not right across the street. I mean, right across the river to New York City, catching a ferry, just going over, taking the PATH train, and just exploring the city. It's so beautiful in the summer. You can go to Central Park, Bronx Zoo, which we did a lot last summer. And I would miss that, but I also don't like my coworker. We don't like having to live paycheck by paycheck to paycheck because of the high prices of homes and rent and everything in this area. It's just too much. I do want to make that move, but we need to save. Like I've told my boyfriend, I'm not gonna move like out of nowhere without having like at least one of us having a job down there, having a good amount of money saved up, knowing exactly where we're going. Like it's just not happening. And my boss, I'm sure that if I told her like, hey, I'm gonna try this, and if it doesn't work out, can I come back to my job? I'm so sure that she would be okay with that. Which on that end, I'm okay with. But I just want, of course, like every other Orion, I would want to just have the stability as soon as I get there, not to be like, what am I gonna do now? What are we gonna do now? Hello, Carmen. I finally caught you live. Hi, Blink. Welcome, everyone. I'm so happy for you. Thanks. Carmen, she's so precious. I miss my daughter when she was a baby. I love Florida, palm trees. Do you live in Florida, Sharon? I love Florida too, and I know I'm saying this as like just a yearly visitor, a tourist, but I like it. Oh, you live in Toronto. Is it freezing there right now? Because it's so cold here. Apparently last night it snowed a little and we had like a coating, and when I was taking the boys to school this morning it was like ice everywhere. Blake was slipping all over the place. So this morning was a trip because my boyfriend goes into work later and I told him like this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna stay with her every day until like you gotta go to work. And he took her to my job around sorry. He took her to my job around 11:40. So in the morning I got up, get the boys ready myself, take them to school, and then my boyfriend takes her later on, which works awesome because in the morning at my job, like the craziest time is between 7 to 10. At 9 o'clock, kids are still coming in. So it's a little hectic. And I'm going to have her there on Fridays because my boyfriend goes into work at 10. So that means he has to leave like at 9:30 to get there on time. So he's going to come with me and the boys. Leia to school. I 100% need a car, but I'm just trying to save up a little more to be able to do that. Hey, how's it going? Hi, 210. A blizzard tomorrow? Oh no. I'm from California and Florida is too humid for me. Beautiful, but I don't think I can deal with the heat and hurricane. We freezing in Texas right now. Girl, they can't handle cold temps. They close the schools down and my schools for 33. I think it's gonna be like 29 tonight. I was just watching this influencer that I follow, two of them. There's two of them that live in Texas. One of them lives in, I don't know how you say it, Bernie? Born? I don't think it's Born because I've seen her like put up um like the proper way of saying it. And she's all morning she was posting stories of the ice and I'm like, it's pronounced Bernie. Yeah, one of them lives there. The other one, I believe, lives in Dallas. I'm not sure. But one of them is Aaron Williams and the other one, Tara Henderson. And they were both posting, like, basically a sheet of ice. And I'm like, really? This is what you guys are freaking out? Tomorrow morning, when the kids go to school, we don't close schools for low temperature at all. Tomorrow morning, on my way to school, it's gonna be 25 degrees and it's gonna feel way less than that. The high for tomorrow is 38. So there's that. We are about to freeze. On Friday, it's gonna be 10 with wind. And on Saturday, 8. Nah, this is why I gotta leave. Like, we're used to it, but I hate it. I absolutely hate it. We deal with it because what else are we gonna do? We don't shut down for anything. Florida equals rainy. I would rather take that. I love the hot weather. I'm okay with humidity. I like all of that. Like, my skin feels so good in the summer. Right now, I'm so dry. Even though today I put on a moisturizer, that's all I did. I just put on a moisturizer, and everyone at my job, they were like, "You look so glowy." And it's the Tatcha, I think, Dewy something moisturizer. It's so good. I had like three of my coworkers tell me, "You look glowy today." I'm like, "Thanks, it's my moisturizer." Oh, yes, you said it right. It's about 30 minutes to an hour from me. What, Bernie? Polar vortex. Yes, San Antonio also had power outages. Wow. Good evening. How are you and the kiddos doing? We're doing good. Everything's good. Everything's good, Matt. Just I have a little bit of a headache because I went back to work today and it was just a lot for me after being home like this in the peaceful state that we are in right now to a preschool setting. It was a lot having to deal with parents. I mostly deal with parents, so that in itself is a whole lot. She did great. She was in the pack and play. I was able to carry her, give her bottles whenever she was hungry all day. One of my coworkers held her because the other one didn't really want to. She wasn't feeling so good, like her throat was hurting, so she was like, "I'm not gonna hold her for her safety." And I was like, "Yeah, I totally understand, and that's cool." Apparently there's like a stomach bug in the class that she would be in, so this is why I'm not putting her in there yet. Um, a little precious baby. That's it. She's off to school for the rest of her life, basically. This is the beginning of it. But I'm so grateful that I'm able to do this. Like, there's not that many jobs where you can take your baby and your boss is sitting right next to you. I actually took a picture of her. She's sitting with her in the computer. Let me see. She grabbed her and she's like, "Oh, I'll just do my work with her." I'm covering her face for her privacy, but I can show you Leia. She like had her on her lap for like 10 minutes until I took her to feed her and like get her situated. I bet it sucks going back. It does. But I need money, like I say all the time. Disability is just not it. I don't know how people like I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but my best friend is pregnant and her husband is a cop. His one of his coworkers, his wife just had a baby like maybe a month before Leia, and he took some time off. He went on disability to be home with her. They're both police officers actually. And they were getting paid less than 1,000 every 2 weeks on disability. And it's just not like you can't really do much with that here. You're basically living off of whatever you're getting, and there's no wiggle room for any other spending. So he cut it short and he went back like after a month or two after the baby was born. But at least she was with you, didn't have to leave her. I know. I love that. This is why I won't move right now. There's no way. My boyfriend like dropped her off and immediately he was like asking me, how is she? He was asking me all day. I was sending him videos and stuff. She did great. She was really good. Barely cried. She's a really good baby. I barely hear her crying. She only cries when she's really tired or hungry. That's about it. Does your spouse work all day? Today he worked from 12 to 5. Well, he actually got out early from that one. I think he was home at like 4. So he works from 12 to 4. And then he went to his second job. He's on his second job now. Girl, a job like that, nowhere. You hit the jackpot and a good boss. Yeah, that's terrible. Definitely not enough money to maintain a family. Can you imagine? And they're police officers. Like they've had that job for years, at least like 8 years or more. And they're both police officers. And that's what they're getting. That's just terrible. Like 900 every 2 weeks. That's, I don't know. Imagine having a mortgage and you have to, that's all you're getting paid. I'll die if it was that cold. Guess we're spoiled. Yes, you are. But then you guys deal with like a lot of fires. Like, it's never perfect. It's okay, Chrissy. Why did you delete your message? Boys did great. Blake hasn't been behaving so well in school. But today I have to get there like half hour early, like before my shift starts because of Noah. I take him to my school and my preschool. There's teachers that like take kids to schools in our areas. It's like at walking distance. So Noah's actual school is like down the street and down a hill to us. And then there's another school that's like a few blocks away. And then there's another one that's like 4 blocks away. So we have teachers in the morning take kids to school. So for Noah's school, there's about 12 kids that go. So that teacher will take them, and in the afternoon, that teacher also goes, grabs them, and brings them back for aftercare. So for Noah, his school starts at 8:40. I start work at 9, but he has to be at daycare by like 8:20 for him to get on time with the rest of his peers. So I have to get there early. So I went into Blake's class, and he was fine on our way there, but as soon as we get there, he doesn't even want to walk into the door. I guess it's because he's used to me like dropping him off and leaving. So he probably thought that's what I was gonna do again. And I walked in there with him. I was trying to take off his coat, but he wasn't letting me. He was so upset, but he wasn't crying. He just had like this face. And I was like, go put your stuff in your cubby. He was like, no. But then I sat down, and like 5 minutes later, he calmed down. He sat down. He started eating breakfast. He eats breakfast at home, and then he eats again when he gets there. That's how much that kid loves eating. So I was sitting there with him, and I was like, "Are you gonna be a good boy today?" And he was still like in a bad mood. He was like, "No." But then he was like, "Mommy, you're gonna go pick up baby Leia. You're bringing her?" And I was like, "Yeah." A little later, and he was like, "Okay, go, mommy, go get her." So then I took that chance to like leave his classroom, but I did not hear him screaming all day, which sometimes I do because by like 3 o'clock, he's already exhausted. He wants to leave. He sees his friends leaving, so it makes him like just irritated. And it's too much for him. From like 3 and on, like he can't really be in daycare for that long. So I didn't hear any of that today. He behaved well. I barely went into his classroom, but he knew I was around because, again, there's also like 3 big windows to his class. So whenever I walk down the hallway, he can see me. I did notice him see me a couple times, but he behaved well. What does it mean when the viewer's name is highlighted blue? They're moderators, so they can like delete someone's comment. Just keep people in check in case it gets like out of hand. Because there's a lot of channels where people get really nasty or weird, and moderators will just, they can delete that or put people basically like on timeout. Going back to work after maternity leave was hard. Just experienced my 1 year old being sick for the first time, and it was horrible. Had to cancel his birthday party. Oh, it's okay. You can do it next weekend. Hopefully, the baby's better by then. What matters is your baby's health, and just try to get the baby better, and you can always reschedule it. Are you a very calm person? You always seem peaceful, calm, no worries, like super mellow, even when you speak. I like that because I'm the opposite. And I'm like, damn, I want to be like her. No, I, a lot of people tell me that I'm very like chill. um, I worry a lot, like a lot of people do. I worry, I feel like too much, but lately I've been able to just let things go. Like this whole thing, let's put this as an example. This whole thing with disability. For the past 3 months, we've been we haven't been like really struggling, but it has been easy because I haven't been getting paid what I usually get paid. And you know, you're used to getting a certain amount of money every 2 weeks. Bills are paid at a certain time, and like this definitely like I did not go out at all. I have not been spending at all because I just can't. There's just no room for spending. So instead of like just worrying over and over again, like stressing about money, like there's nothing I can do about it right now other than go back to work, wait until I get paid again, and take it from there. Like if I'm trying to think, like if there's something that's out of my control, I'm not gonna worry about it the way I used to. And that's helped a lot. I feel like I've been having that state of mind for like a year or so, maybe a little more. Um, yeah, I'm just not gonna worry about things if I can't control them. Like I gotta worry about like actual things like my baby and put my attention to the kids and not be stressing out over things that I can't fix at the moment. I can't believe how short maternity leave is. I know. Yep. Hello, Sharon. Yeah, maternity leave is terrible here. Mm. Like, can you imagine? Like, I'm so lucky that I can take her with me, but there's so many parents that bring in their babies to daycare this age. That makes me so sad. Like, I see parents crying, dropping off their 3 year olds, their 1 year olds. Can you imagine having to leave a little innocent baby like this? And you just don't know. Like, you're dropping off your baby and you're hoping for the best, but there's just places that unfortunately it's like not so great. Like, you see it on the news, it's just like terrible sometimes. So, that I know that scares a lot of parents. But for example, in our daycare, especially for the little ones. I mean, if there's a 3 year old and or a 4 year old, we also do pre-K. So we do from like 3 months to 4 years old, and then after that they go to kindergarten. But there's so many parents that they bring in their kids for the first time, and you can tell the parent is so uneasy, and they're just you can just tell when a parent drops off a child. There's those parents that are like they don't even look back. They're like, "Bye, honey, see you later," and they just walk away even when their child cries. But then there's other parents that we have a no parent policy in our building, but in special cases when a child is screaming their heads off, which is normal because it's separating a child from their parent, but their parents have to go to work. A kid is starting pre-K. It's tough. It's really, really tough. So there's kids that, like for example, there's one that just started last week. He's still crying in the mornings, and it's so loud, and he grips onto his mom, and his mom is being super strong about it. Like I haven't seen her cry at all. But you can see it in her face that she's so worried, and she just walks away. Like when she looks at us, she's like, bye. And I told her today, I was like, if you want to call, you can call as many times as you want to check on him. We'll tell you how he's doing. Most of the time, when these kids see their parents leave, they cry, but 5 to 10 minutes later, they're fine. They're completely fine throughout the day. That's like 99.9% of the time. So if any of you have little ones and you're scared of taking your little, I don't want to say baby because I feel bad for the babies. But if you have to take your child to daycare and they're doing that terrible screaming that just like it breaks your heart, do not worry. It's normal, and they're fine. Like after 5 to 10 minutes, it's a new environment, new people. It's like strangers to them, so it's scary. But once they start getting to a routine, they start loving being around their friends, being around their teachers, doing all the activities that they do every day, and it becomes a routine for them. So I stayed home with Noah until he was 3, and I loved it, but I was also able to tell that he wasn't socialized at all. Like, I would take him to the park every single day for at least an hour or 2, but it's not the same as being in a school setting with other kids all day. I would take him every Tuesday to the library for an hour where they had activities. It was called toddler time. And it was all kids his age, and there were a ton of kids, about 20 of them. And they would sing and dance and play with different things in the library. And every time, like at the end of the little session, they would do like an arts and crafts. No, I used to love that. So that's why I knew he would love school. But at first, he had a hard time. He used to break my heart. Like on our way there, walking, he would be crying. Like I could see his eyes watery. He would in school. He would have a ton of accidents. I would have to like he would wet himself. It was a lot for him. And even now, like leaving my preschool and going into kindergarten, that was tough for him. He cried like the first week because he was nervous about his new teachers. He would tell me like, "I'm scared I'm gonna get lost," and I would tell him like, "Look, you always have to ask your teachers for help. Don't be scared to ask them. You won't get lost, and if you do, someone is always there in the school to help you." And now he's doing fine. He loves it. I had to leave Blakely at like 8 months. 1 year at daycare was terrible. Oh. Blake started daycare at 6 months, and he did great from the beginning. I think it's good to start them early because in Noah's case, he started at 3 years old, where he's like very aware of everything, and it was tough for him. But Blake, on the other hand, he started at 6 months, and he's basically the boss in there. And Leia, hopefully, she does good. I plan on putting her into maybe at the end of her 3rd month. She's about to turn 3 months on the 9th. So we'll see. We'll see how she does. My boss said if I wanted to, I can keep her in the office for 2 months. But I can see things getting like overwhelming, and I may need help from the teachers in the class because work and having to do meetings, and she's there. I mean, I know parents don't really care, and they were also happy to see her, but I also want to like be focused and not having to like deal with a ton of things at once because that's what like gives me a headache when I'm not like concentrated on one thing and I have to do a million things at once. It's like a lot. Oh, baby. Do you think your ex is jealous of your new relationship? I don't think he knows. I honestly don't think he knows. Oh, I didn't tell you guys. I went to court on Monday. I filed for full custody, and apparently I wasn't paying attention, but when we had our child support hearing, the lady checked online and she told me his wages are supposed to be garnished. And I haven't received anything. So that may mean that he's working under the books. Things. Yeah. That may mean that he's not reporting. I don't know. He's still a whole mystery. So when I applied for full custody, she told me I can also apply for child support to be enforced, which I don't really know what that means because I thought that's what the first order was about, because if the judge didn't put an order for him to pay me child support directly, and the order is for his wages to be garnished, then how come I haven't received anything? I don't know. You're absolutely correct. I also worry regarding bills, but I try to have faith in God, for He is my provider. It's hard to have to admit. I know, it's so hard. We've been struggling these past 3 months because, like I said, we've been tight. We've paid everything, but we've been so tight. And my boyfriend was stressing the other day, like he's been breaking out, and I'm like, what's going on? Because I saw like a few little pimples. He had like three right here, and I'm like, what's happening? He usually has like really clear skin, and I'm like, you're breaking out. And he's like, yeah, I'm really stressed. And I'm like, look, everything is getting paid. I'm about to go to work too. There's no point in stressing over things when we can just like relax, do what we gotta do, and everything will be okay. And I told him the same thing. I'm like, it's out of your control for now. We can't be stressing over things like that. Money comes and goes. Strangers raising our kids. Yeah, it can be scary, but you have the right to call as many times as you want and ask how your child's doing. A lot of daycares, we don't do it, but there's a lot of daycares that give you access to their classrooms, or there's a ton of daycares that does like daily pictures of what they've done during the day. Oh, fortunately, in this country, in the time that we're in right now, a lot of families can't afford for the mom to stay home like they did back in the day, how a man was able to buy a house, have a car, have a family, have his wife stay at home with all the kids, and it was doable. Now it's like nearly impossible. So, unfortunately, babies do have to go to school pretty early, which sucks. And if you don't feel comfortable taking your kid to one school, move them over to another one until you feel comfortable. Yep, they're gonna take his money and give it to you. Mm. They see them more than the parents during the week. Yep. I have kids that go in at 7 and don't get picked up till 6. And that's different. I assumed when you filed child support, it was automatically garnished. I guess I was mistaken. I don't know. Let me see. When was that sent? Inbox. Okay. It just says it is hereby ordered that the obligor shall pay support in New Jersey Family Support Payment Center in the amount of, and it says the stupid amount. Where else? They also put here that I appeared and he did not. They took time away from him. Like if he wanted, it says plaintiff's request to establish parenting time for defendant and the minor children is withdrawn. Okay, here it is. Oh, these letters are so tiny, it hurts my eyes. Defendant shall pay child support for both children. You want to hear this? In the amount of 105 per week of the child support guidelines. 105 for both of them. So basically, it's $50 for two kids per week. I mean, $50 each kid per week, which is crazy. It says via wage garnishment through the NJ Family Support Payment Center, with arrears payback at a rate of $25 per week. And that was it. So when I went, she just told me you're gonna have to fill out an application for full custody, and then that in that same application, just check out the box that you want the child support to be enforced. But I thought it was already enforced when you do that type of ruling. So I have no idea. That's what I thought. Hey Carmen, how are you doing tonight? I'm okay. How are you guys? You should have to pay regardless since he abandoned all of them. Oh, I know. I literally had a parent who would and say she wasn't able to see her girls on camera. Who would call? That's why the owner doesn't want to do that because she just knows the parents are gonna be like hooked on that and call for every little thing. I had a friend who worked at another daycare and she would have these parents call and they would be like, don't birth my child this way, don't feed my child that way. Like it was nonstop calling for little things like that. That's a little too much. When my granddaughters went to daycare, I stopped by anytime. I even helped out sometimes. It was great. There is 23 of us in live chat. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks. Uh, I think that's totally ridiculous how little he has to pay for two kids. Yeah. Just hit that like button, everyone. I hope your child support does come through for you. It's been a year since he hasn't seen them, and that court order was put in place June of last year, and not one dime has been given. So I have no idea. Sorry, guys, I joined in a little too late, but I know if I missed out on something, I can just go and rewatch the video. Most likely I will because I like supporting Carmen and her family. Thank you. I know my ex son-in-law owes thousands of back child support and never got it. Well, child support here is so much more. I know it's based on income too, though. Yeah. But at the time, it was completely stupid what the judge did. Like, and I hate that it's done in front of everyone because I was like I was probably the third person she called. It was through Zoom. And she said my name. They said his name. They waited on him. He just never showed up. And she told me, like, you are applying for child support, right? And I was like, yes. And then in the application, they have you put like what their occupation is, the address of it, phone number, their social, everything. Sorry, guys. So I put everything. And what she did, I know the amount of salary that he was getting paid. And I put that down in the application. What she did was go on Indeed.com in front of everyone on Zoom. And she was like, you put down here that this is his job and this is his occupation. And according to Indeed, he's getting, I think she said a ridiculous amount of like $14 an hour, which was not what he was getting at all. Like he had a set salary that was pretty good. And she just, this is how they're doing it. Like they go on Indeed and they pick the first thing they see, and then they're like, well, your child support is going to be this, this, and that based on that Indeed post, which was just like mind blowing to me. Like I've never heard of that before. Mm. He's such a low life. He makes my blood boil. How you can abandon them and not even support them. He's the one who left and cheated. Jeez. In some states, they will take some or most of the tax return for child support. Well, hopefully. But if he's not reporting, then they're not really going to take anything out. It should be 1,000 per child a month. Really? Wow, that's ridiculous. Yep, that's what she did. And I was so mad. I was like crying after. Because not only that, but in that same hearing, I was like, can I have some type of, I told you guys, like, I had booked a flight and everything to Dominican Republic without really knowing that was my fault, but without really knowing that I needed his permission until my mom reminded me the day before that hearing. So then I asked her, I was like, look, I have everything booked. I had no idea. Can I like somehow get a letter since he hasn't been around for months? He hasn't been supporting them for months. Like, can I have something to like be able to take them out of the country? And she said no, that I would have to go apply and wait all over again. Mind you, just for that hearing, I waited 5 months. So, and I know I took forever to apply for full custody because there was just a lot going on. I was pregnant, I was having gender reveals, baby showers. It was a lot. But I finally got it done and hopefully I get full custody. Have any of you been through that where you have to go to court for full custody? Because I don't know what to expect. I know he's not going to show up. So, how does the judge go about that? Like, do I just get full custody automatically just because he's not there? And they told me that it has nothing to do with child support. Like, it's a totally different thing. I can still have full custody of the kids and still receive child support. Because I've heard so many times if you apply for custody, then you lose your child support. Which at the end of the day, even if I lost it, like he's not paying me a dime anyways. So it doesn't make a difference to me. That's crazy. Why wouldn't they call to actually verify his employment? I know. His pay stub has and income tax returns are what should be used by the judge to decide child support. And she's a woman, you would think she would be on your side. They ain't gonna know if you take them to the ER. Yes, because at the airport, TSA stops you. Like if you have minors, both parents have to be present. You could get away with it, but you run the risk, like the high possibility of them stopping you and asking you for the birth certificates and both parents to be there. I remember when my mom wanted to take me out of the country, my mom had to get permission from my dad, who she didn't see, who we didn't see for like 6 years. But since she, at that point, she didn't apply for full custody because it just wasn't like a priority. She wasn't taking me out of the country. Um, what's it called? Until that point, then she needed like his permission, and he wrote a letter that it was okay for me to leave the country. And that was when I was small, and it's still a thing now. They can deny you if you don't have both parents present. Hire a lawyer or free legal aid. I would ask for another judge or someone else who can actually look up what he really makes to raise your payments. When I took my kids out of the country, I had to provide a letter from a notary public and signed by my ex. No letter, no travel. Yep. That's what she actually told me. She was like, you cannot take them out of the country without his permission. And she was like, you can ask him and tell him to write you a letter, have it notarized. And in that letter, it has to have like where you're staying, how long you're going to be there, and they have to sign it. You don't need his permission for shit. For real. How did you take, Matt, did you take Blakely to DR with you? I know you went to Florida recently, but you've also said that you've gone to Dominican Republic. Did she go with you? You should pay more. I know someone who receives 800 per month for one child. The state doesn't mess around when it comes to garnishing wages, so likely he is working under the table. Which I didn't think he would do, but apparently he is. I received his W 2 form in my mail, and I can see the company's name like up. I haven't opened it because obviously, uh, yeah, my brother pays like 800 for his daughter after him, and his ex-wife got divorced. Um, damn, what's it called? His face stub showed up, and it's weird to me that it's still being sent to my mom is living in my old address, so she's still receiving some mail from places, and he's still receiving mail at that old place. And the W 2 form showed up over there. Well, that's crazy. Or he will get hit if he tries to file taxes this year. I think he will try to file taxes. I'm thinking he's working under the table, but I think he will file taxes because he probably doesn't know that they will be taken away. No, she stayed with my parents. Okay. All right. Do you have a good relationship with your ex when it comes to Blakely? I get 540 a month in Texas for one kid. And there were times I wouldn't get anything, but the tax season would come and I would get a lump sum of money. Oh wow. Would you get it together with your own taxes or it would just come at another time? You should open it and see what his pay was. No, it's illegal. I don't really care because even if I open it, like I'm not receiving anything. Oh. What is that noise? A garbage truck. I didn't like that's how I'm so used to the city life that I didn't even realize that the garbage truck is outside making all that noise. Mhm. I know in Texas, if you owe, you can renew your license or anything. I've heard, so apparently there's like, oh my gosh, she's making all these cute noises. Apparently, over here, you get a warrant for your arrest for not paying and not showing up to court, which he's done both. Um, and you can also get your license suspended. So I don't know. Yours is done in the morning? No, ours is done at night. We're not allowed to take out trash before 6, but they're around at this time. I think we've spoken about this before, and people are like, so what do people do? They're at work, then they gotta wait. It's twice a week. For us here, I mean, I don't even know at what time, what days they do it here because we have like an area in the back of, on the side of the building where there's these bins and we just throw our trash there and the super just worries about that. But in my other apartment, it was every Monday and Thursday that we took out our trash. And they would pass by around this time too. Oh. Yeah, for the most part. I still don't get why they do it at night. No, I actually have a child support debit card. It's called. They sent me a debit card where they're supposed to deposit whatever is taken out of his wages, but I haven't received a dime. In Canada, if a parent dodges child support payments, the government revokes their driver's license. The USA is dumb. When we visited Newport, Rhode Island, the garbage came at night because there were less traffic. I think that's why we do it at night too. There's like no one in the streets at this time. And our streets are very, very narrow as well. There's only enough, like in my street, which is most of this town and the surrounding towns, it's a narrow street and then cars park on both sides, which makes the street even smaller. So there's only enough space for one car. Makes sense, Blue. I didn't even think about that, Blue, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they do it at night around here too. During the day, this area, even like outside of my building, it is so congested with traffic. It's so much. Ours used to come at 6 a.m. Is it close by to you though? Because the garbage is thrown right outside. So the garbage truck passes right there and it's so loud. I know there's so many places where you have like a whole road down where you can put your trash bin. All right, guys, I'm gonna be on for like maybe 5 more minutes and then I'm off to bed because I'm tired. Gotta get ready for tomorrow. She's so good. The traffic here in San Antonio has gotten bad. A lot of people are moving here. It's all of us, Northeastern People, we're all leaving this area. I know so many people who are moving right now. It's just too much here. Oh, there's this Instagram page I don't really follow, but it keeps popping up. And it's this guy asking New Yorkers like how much do they get paid and how much do they get paid in rent. And then there's another page where they show you New York City apartments that are for rent. And it's just horrible. Almost $3,000 for basically a shoebox. I don't know how they do it in the city. In New York, it's worse than here. But we're getting there. Because for this small two-bedroom, I'm paying like 2,100 basically. We don't even have a washer dryer. Oh my god. We had to roll the can down to the end of the driveway. I have to walk my cans like half an acre to the end of the driveway. Matt, you need a wagon. Yes, he does. I have particularly noticed a lot of people from California. I'm on 2 acres and my house is further back on the 2 acres, so I'm far from the road. That's nice. A pickup truck, Matt. Yeah, I've seen that. Seen the guy doing it in LA too. It's ridiculous. hmm I think a lot of us just stay here because it's what we know, it's where we grew up, we're comfortable, but I'm ready to leave. Carmen, have you seen the washer dryer that does both, but it's one machine? So cool. I have it. I've seen like there's these TikToks where they show you like these Asian homes and all of the little knickknacks they have and stuff. And it's so cute and addicting, but I'm like, I can never have all of that stuff in my home. And I've seen so many that have like a little washing machine. It's like it's tiny in their bathroom and they just throw in their stuff and throw out the water, put it back in, dry it. It's really cute. I've seen the guy, it's crazy what they pay for it. Yep. And it's no joke. It's really what people pay in this area. Texas versus Cali, we're gonna have a carne asada war. Are you able to get a washer and dryer? Nope. Check it out, OG brand. Where I'm at, I can't have a washer dryer in my apartment. But thankfully, there's one right, a laundromat right downstairs, like outside of my building. I had a friend who worked for the social security department, and he said that he would see it all the time where, what? And me came in and applied for, and they never paid for child support. They would get hit then. That would suck to have to leave my place and do laundry. It does. That's another reason why it sucks to live here. Reasons why it sucks to live in New Jersey. Let me put this. Reason why it sucks to live in the tri-state area. Yep. A lot of places here, unless you have a house, then you don't really have a washer dryer. You have to go to the laundromat. Hi, Nicole. All right, guys, it's about that time for me. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'm tired of it, man. I'm so tired of it. But like I showed you in that picture of my boss holding on to my baby, I have to hold on for a few more years before I think of doing anything. I feel like right now I can deal with doing laundry downstairs than to have to be away from my baby, pay $1 million for my 3 kids to go to daycare just for me to work and pay for that. No, I'm gonna take advantage and do as much as I can while they're little. Oh my goodness, she's so cute and warm. She's so knocked out. I don't know if you guys can see her. She's sweaty. I'm sorry, Nicole. Have a good night. See you later. Good night, Carmen. You're blessed. Leia's a sweet darling. Thank you. Bye to 10. Hit the like button on your way out, everyone. Have a good night, guys. Bye.